name is Lisa Dublin. I'm a health and life coach, and I help people to live, to speak, and to lead with confidence. And you know why you should want to live and speak and lead with confidence? Look at this quote. It says, if you hear a voice within you say you cannot paint, then by all means paint, and that voice will be silenced. And that is a quote from no one less than Vincent van Gogh, who you know painted so well. He was a bit of an eccentric, and that's a mild way to put it. But he's well known for doing those kinds of paintings that was so peculiar to him, right? And that's what he said. If you hear a voice within you say you cannot paint, then by all means paint, and that voice will be silenced. There's no other way. Either you do that, or you do like I did back in my first year of university, when a lecturer said to me, because I didn't have French, I perhaps should stop because I was operating at a C level. Mind you, I found out later that people who had it at A levels, they had that bridge between high school and university, those people were failing. And I was at a C level. And she was like, I don't think you have what it takes. And I listened to her for one of the few times in my life that I had a teacher who didn't believe in me. And because I didn't continue. And I'm pretty sure like I would have done really well. It would just have compounded with all of the effort. So that is why you need a coach to kind of boost your confidence and not just tell you you can do it, but help you to find your own reasons for wanting to do it and knowing that you can, helping you to find those reasons for yourself. So if you're joining me this morning, good morning. Good morning to Facebook. Good morning to LinkedIn, to YouTube. And you know what, you guys? I kind of had a little pre show on Instagram. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, please go follow me there. It's at Lisa M. Dublin. Here's the link right here on the screen. You can join me there because like I just quite enjoy going there live a little bit before we start everywhere else. But on to our little what we want to talk about today. My new podcast dropped today. So please head over to Apple, Spotify. I'm going to upload to YouTube in a while, and you all on my website, and everything's like lisamdublin.com is where you can find all my things. All right, here's the link right there, and from there you can go to the website page. It also goes out on my email list as well today, so you can find all that information there to listen to today's podcast. And today I started doing something where every 10th episode I want to be talking about books that changed my life. One of the books that changed my life was Atomic Habits by James Clear. Have you heard of this book? Have you read it? You know what? How you know a book is great is because it seems to just make the rounds on all personal development lists. This book is always there. And let me tell you, it's for good reason. I think the premise of the book is that we need more than passion for us to form a habit. When you form a habit, you form a compounding thing that will give you results. The same way, by not doing something over and over and over again, you get yourself further and further away from the goal. In the same way, when you keep on working at something and making it a habit, what happens is that effort also compounds to get you closer to the goal. And so James Clear, he says that we don't rise to the level of our passion, something like that, but we fall to the level of our systems. So atomic habits is the process of doing little powerful habits one after the other to be able to form just sequences of things that you do without even thinking. So we already do them, and that is his argument. For example, you wake up, you go to the bathroom, you brush your teeth. At least most people do, I hope. Right? Or like, what's another one that we do? Oh, maybe you get out of the shower, then you floss your teeth, then you brush, or whatever. But we have those things that we already do. And his point is that if you're trying to build a new habit, the way that you really should do that is to take the new behavior that you want to become a part of your life and stack it on top of something that you already do. Here's a very simple and powerful one. You want to build a habit of exercising regularly. Let's start with 3 days a week. Okay, you want to do that. If that's what you want to do, but let's say you already come home from work every day. So when I come home from work, I will get into my exercise gear and I will go out for me to exercise. Or you can, once it hits 4 p.m., I put on my exercise gear and I go to the gym. That's an easy one. And so what happens is, because you are already of doing stuff like jumping in the car, right? Some people, as soon as you jump in the car, we do that one, you put on your seatbelt. Of course, we have the added incentive of you getting charged if you don't wear your seatbelt. That is extra incentive, right? But it works the same way. You know, as soon as you enter the vehicle, you put on your seatbelt. Is there anything else that you can add to lengthen and to form another habit? So he says to look at what you already do, where you already have patterns in your life, and see if you can add on other habits that you're trying to build. Like, it just worked marvelously for me during COVID in particular, to kind of keep me sane. And here's what I would do. I'd wake up, I'd have my devotions, read my Bible, pray, and just spend time with God. And then I'd do my exercise routine and then do some writing. And that not only sustained me, but because I kept on pursuing the same thing over and over, there were so many gains made in each of these areas: my prayer life, just my exercise life, and just even in terms of what I like to call fire. You can go listen to, I think my favorite episode of my podcast so far is the one called Faith, Fitness, and Fire. It's not the most popular. The most popular episode is still the one on non-negotiables. That is episode 3. I like Faith, Fitness, Fire because it just tells so much about how, I've just sustained being out there as a business person in social media, and being able to kind of craft an image and craft an identity for myself that has been sustained over a couple years. That came from having deep habits. And I want to tell you that one of the deepest and most powerful and most recent um, examples of habit stacking in my life is what you're experiencing right now. I started podcasting July of last year. Between July and December, I only did about 7 episodes because I wasn't very regular, and I love it. I'm almost at 1,000 downloads, so I hope you can go to Apple, Spotify, on my website and listen, download, and just subscribe to the podcast, because I think I found a method, and I want to talk about that: the power of habit stacking and the power of routine in building the things that you want in your life. And I teach that to my clients so deeply. We spend a lot of time digging deep and digging that foundation so that you can build on top of it. And 2 things happened, and I'll speak about that in next week's episode of the podcast. But it became easier to do the podcast, and then I found a time that worked for me to record. The minute I sank in that time, you guys, it became easier every single week at the same time to do the recording. If you can do that, and people who already have habits that work in their lives are probably agreeing with me right now. Think of the things that you do almost automatically. I'm pretty sure for a lot of the time you do it at the same time. You've got the same period of time, the same kind of routine for getting there, doing the thing, and exiting out of it. So because I have found a time that works for me and a way to record that also works for me, this is my 4th episode for the month, for the month of January. 4. This is, I'm pretty sure, like, we had episode 10 today, and I've already recorded 11. So it means that's how you know when your habits are working. That's how you know when you've harped and you've alighted on something that you can sustain, when begin to see the fruit of it, if that makes any sense. So, IG, how are you doing? Does that make sense to you? Hey, Herma, how are you? Hi, Pretty Ford. Hi, people on Instagram. Thank you for being here. But habit stacking can make your life easier. What do you want? What do you want? Do you want to finish that degree? Do you want to maybe get in shape this year? But like I was talking to a client recently and saying, you know how many people would just simply want to have their priorities right and just don't even know where to start? Like many people want to start exercising, want to start eating right, maybe want to pursue a relationship with God, get to know their creator a little better, but don't even know where to start. Like, how do I even get out of this the grind, the regular thing that I do, and craft a strategy that will realign my priorities and make me be and become the person that I want to be? Listen, it's possible. It's possible. I have done it. A lot of my clients have done it because of the work we've done together in terms of one, figuring out your values. It's not going to work by just seeing somebody doing something and wanting to do it yourself. No, mm-mm. Let me give you an example of that. And it's all related to this whole thing of habit stacking. I post my videos, especially on Facebook. So if you're on LinkedIn, you need to go follow me on Facebook, on Instagram, because LinkedIn is kind of stoosh. You don't really want to post photos of like working out and that kind of thing on LinkedIn. But they are inspiring. And I post them because I understand that the things are related, that your professional life is fueled by your well-being. I had a client who the last week she was just sick. And this is a high flyer, high roller. But because she was down for an entire week, she wasn't able to do as much as she can. That is some people's story every day, because they haven't got a system in place to exercise, to get their diet right, to get that part of their life. So they suffer with all of the lifestyle diseases, all the things that can be avoided if you had systems in place that depended on you knowing what your values are. So I post those videos everywhere else, and somebody reached out to me. She's like, I want to start running. I'm going to get my shoes this week. And I just smiled because I know that is not deep enough to start and sustain momentum in something that you just never did before. You wanting to start afresh in any area of your life, do the work with your value system. What does it mean to you? When you have a reason that is deep enough to pursue a new course of action, a new lifestyle, it will be a little easier to do it. But then, as James Clear is saying in what I want to talk about, I'm talking about today, Atomic Habits. Once you have that in place, the value system, it is still not enough. The next step has to be to figure out how to make it a system that you can sustain. So many people just simply suffer from a lack of consistency. Isn't that true? I know I am not consistent in certain areas of my life. And you guys, one of the things we have to realize is you are mostly not consistent in the areas that usually matter the most. Nobody has to tell me to run. But in other areas that you really want and are very important to you, you usually need some help to become consistent. And one of those ways is to do the habit stacking, do the atomic habits, stack one thing on top of something that you already do so that you can get the traction. And soon it passes from just behavior into just who you are. And that is when you know, okay, I'm a runner, I run. I'm a parent, I parent. I'm a saver, I save. I'm a reader, so I read. And that happens by simply doing the thing over and over again. And the way that you build that consistency is by doing the systems thing. What do I already do? Can I stack a new habit on top of it and just run with it? So I hope you read that book. And if you want, like when in the podcast for today, I really went in with some quotes from the book that I think it will entice you to want to read it. And remember, reading is not just, oh my gosh, getting a book and read. By the way, if you're looking to read, get mine. Good Girl Gone Wife. It's still out there doing its thing. I'm getting a lot of traction. I'm so happy for it. So leave a review, buy the book, leave a review. You can read it, not just hard copy, but it's also on Kindle. And I was just speaking to my podcast manager, who said to me that he is able to, like, if I do the Audible version, because I really want to do the Audible version, so I can get that edited and uploaded. So I'm like, wow, that is possible, you know? And so, yeah, so now because I've got a system I've got an atomic habit of when I do the podcast and how I do it, I just got unstuck. I Just because you have a system, and you can get unstuck in any area of your life if you have a system. If it is that we do not rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our systems, it means that when you get the system right, you can definitely rise to the level of your goals and how far you want to go and what you want to do in life. So I hope it inspires you. Please go listen to the podcast, leave a review on Apple if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, or if you're on my email list. It went out at, I think, about 6 o'clock today, so you can listen there and let me know what you think. Like, give me feedback. I'd love if you would talk back to me and tell me what you think. And that's one way I know to kind of get habits going. Don't forget, you guys, MIG's last thing is MIG's 2024, most important goals 2024. Why did I put the S? That S doesn't, why did I even put the S? Okay, because I'm talking about goals this time, not just one goal. Because I realized last year, because I had a system, it was possible um to do 2 or 3 major goals in one year. It's possible. So I want to lead people through that process on Sunday, the 28th of January, 1 to 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So if that is you and you either have formed your goals for 2024 or you're wanting to formulate your goals, it's not too late. You still have time to sign up. Go to my website, lisamdublin.com, and you can sign up there. The ticker is at the bottom of my screen. You can go there and you can sign up. So I hope to see you on Sunday at the MIGS workshop. Come, let's have a good time, and I'll lead you through the entire process of choosing your most important goals and then building a foundation so deep and so meaningful that it can sustain you for the rest of the year when the going gets tough, when you don't want to do it, when it's not working out. But you know that if you stick with it, you will come out on the other side of the goal, which is accomplishment and execution. So I hope to see you on Sunday. So bye, everybody. Speak and done is what we say in the Speak with Confidence workshop. Speak and done. Just say what you have to say and get out of here. So I'm going to release you now. Thank you for listening. And I'll probably see you tomorrow because I still want to talk about goals and that kind of thing in preparation for Sunday. So join me here tomorrow where we continue the conversation about how to go about doing the things that matter to you the most, the deepest desires of your heart. Thank you. And I will